What's going on, guys, and welcome to a 2nd of February WWE Raw review. And yeah, I enjoyed the show quite considerably this week. There were parts of it, as there always is with Raw, where you kind of think to yourself, what the fuck? But to be fair, it was a very good show. The only big down I have on the show is the simple fact that there was not a lot of in-ring action, to say the least, in this night's Raw. 5 matches were there, if that. Although they did develop storylines, which is essential as we head ever closer to WrestleMania. It seems to have just sprung upon us out of absolutely nowhere. Seth Rollins opened the show. Said a bit about that. Oh, I keep forgetting everybody's fucking name. Not Superstars. Why? What is the guy? I'm English. I don't know who this Daily Show guy is. What is his name? How have I forgot it? But anyway, I was talking about him and the fact that he was here and then that and etc. etc. He was going on. You know, Seth Rollins is always very, very good at the promos. I enjoy his promos. Roman Reigns came out and interrupted. It's so difficult to remember what happens on Raw half the time because you actually cannot fucking remember because it's a 3-hour show. Essentially what happened, that's it, Jon Stewart. It just came to me. Roman Reigns then came out and and kind of interrupted Seth Rollins, which we all knew was heading to a main event of Raw. He essentially had a bit of to and fro him, whatever you want to call it. I think at one point he said, well, why don't you cash in your Money in the Bank at WrestleMania if you think you're so good? Why don't you cash in your Money in the Bank at WrestleMania and make it a triple threat match? Rollins declined the offer and said he'd cash in his title whenever the fuck he wanted. And it was actually a show. He didn't actually say fuck, but it was a show for swearing. WWE were like, fuck PG for one night. Well, for moments. That were some of the best moments I've seen on Raw. Especially something that happens in a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, in like fucking 2 hours time. But so it was a decent show. It's set up ultimately for that match. Didn't mind it. It was very good work from both, in my opinion. It ended, I believe, was it with Roman Reigns punching Seth Rollins? I think Reigns punched Seth Rollins. I'm pretty sure he did. And then done something to J&J Security. I think he speared and Superman punched them. But I'm not so sure. But I'm 100% too sure.
In my opinion, it was a good segment to start the show. And it was different. It wasn't the same old shit of the Authority or John Cena. It was something a little bit unique and a little bit different. I enjoyed it. We then had Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose. Non-title matchup. Dean Ambrose, who originally had the title. Apologies if I get mixed up with who the fucking title then went to, and then it went back, and then it fucking went to him, and then, Luke Harper was there, and he ended the night with the title. I mean, the fucking hell. Like, no, he didn't end it. Ziggler ended with the title. Yeah, Ziggler ended with the title. Holy shit. I like the fact that Dean Ambrose stole the title. I like the fact that R-Truth was just stole it on SmackDown. That was funny. That was entertaining. But now, for fuck's sake, it's getting ridiculous. It's just like they're playing, what is that? Like pass the parcel with the Intercontinental Championship. I thought that they wanted to build up the prestige of the Intercontinental Championship. Doing that, but you can't do that playing past the fucking parcel with a title that we are supposed to regard as a top title in the WWE. Now, this ladder match is going to be amazing at WrestleMania. I can already tell. It's going to be a great match. It's going to probably be a show stealer. One of the best ladder matches we'll ever see, in my opinion. And it is going to build up prestige. But for fuck's sake, stop changing the bloody title who steals it. Because it just defeats the whole object of someone stealing it in the begin with. Because now I look at it, I think to myself, why doesn't John Cena steal Rusev's title when Rusev is fighting? Why didn't John Cena just come out and steal his title? Then he'll have to give him a match to win his fucking title back. But he's not winning it back because he hasn't lost it. Apologies about that, but I am sick to death a little bit of all this fucking to and fro-ing. Anyway, the match itself was decent. R-Truth was ringside again on the commentary. He's fucking absolutely hilarious. Although the whole R-Truth thing, he's been on commentary, I think, 3 times now. I'm not getting bored of it, but I don't think he needs to do it again. Who the hell won this match? Oh, that was it. Ambrose won the match. It was like it was a. I'm sure it was a distraction. It was a distraction. I'm pretty sure, from Luke Harper and R-Truth. Yeah, that was actually a good bit. Luke Harper just stood behind R-Truth. They could have made that so much more scary. I shat myself. I didn't know who the fuck it was, and then I realised it was Luke Harper. So I kind of unshat myself. Only for a split second I've forgotten who it was. Well, not forgotten who it was, but I didn't really see who it was. It was just a man standing behind R-Truth. So that's good to see Luke Harper's in it. So now at the moment we've got Luke Harper, we've got Dean Ambrose, Bad News Barrett, and R-Truth in a ladder match. We would get a couple more names as the night ended. As I say, Ambrose winning, which is good, but another loss for the champion, Bad News Barrett. Has he actually won a match fucking recently? I don't think he has. That was one of the only matches of the night. We then had the whole Miz commercial thing. Now, this was fucking funny. This was funny. Holy shit, I'm so excited for the Miz and Miz Dow at WrestleMania 31. Not confirmed yet, but it's gotta happen. This was absolutely awesome. If you haven't seen this segment, go check it out on YouTube. You can see the whole lot on YouTube. It was so good. It was so funny, so well done, and I literally cannot wait for when they do actually, when Miz Dow does actually snap, and when we do get that match at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt calling out The Undertaker. Holy shit, I love this guy. Oh my god, this was so good. Everything that comes out of Bray Wyatt's mouth is just captivating. You're sitting at the edge of your seat. He could be talking about how he shits himself, and I would still be interested. He brought out this wooden, oh god, what the fuck? How do I forget what things? That's a casket. Is it a casket? No, I suppose it's not a casket, is it? Is it a casket, or is it a, we'll call it a casket. There's another word for a casket. Again, that I forgot. I'm a bit retarded anyway. It was a wooden one anyway. And he literally set it on fire. I honestly, I genuinely thought The Undertaker was going to come out of the wooden thing. So I did get my hopes up a little bit and it didn't happen. So I was a little bit disappointed. But holy shit, do I love Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt for the win at WrestleMania 31. Dare I say it. But when Undertaker returns, it is going to be fucking huge. I cannot wait. I think he's got to return, should he, next week. Surely he's going to return next week. They can't just... I just hope they don't leave it to WrestleMania. We've got to see him on Monday Night Raw. Maybe it's the one before WrestleMania. We then had the Usos and Naomi versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd and Natalya. I mean, this was so... It was quick. It was stupid. I mean, there was some good action. I love Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. But once again, we're seeing the same old shit with the tag team division each and every week. We had it with Miz and fucking Mizdow. We then had it with... a bit with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd and the Usos. And we're getting it again. And we're just getting this same old shit. I'm really not... I'm not a lover of the Usos at the moment. I think they need some time off to come back. To be a bit fresh. I'm a little bit bored, but they do produce good matches. But I don't really see the point of this whole why do I keep calling her Naomi and Natalya thing? It's just like, I'm bored of it. So to be honest, although they're very, very good in the ring, to be honest, and there was a little bit of controversy at the end where essentially Kidd tagged in Natalya when she was injured, and which meant that Naomi, and he said Naomi again, got the pinfall, and then they started arguing at the end, Natalya and Kidd, before cuddling and kissing and making up. Oh, so beautiful. But anyway, that was essentially that. I'm not going to talk too much more about that. We then had John Cena talking about WrestleMania. Whew, this segment was pretty good. We had Cena talking about WrestleMania. He essentially came out and said, well, if it was a typical Cena promo. If I can't get to WrestleMania and thanks to yourself, I'll fight on. I never give up. Apologies about the voice. And then he essentially entered himself in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Why am I putting on pathetic voices? At WrestleMania 31. He entered it, and Stephanie McMahon came out with a theme song, which I'd forgot. I haven't heard it in such a long time. they had Stephanie McMahon said some fucking funny things. She literally said what half the universe were thinking, and so did Curtis Axel when he came out. It was, I mean, this segment for me was one of the best of the night. It wasn't the best of the night because there's one later which is probably one of my best segments ever, and I know some people probably haven't liked it, but I fucking loved it. But this was so funny. Stephanie McMahon was literally ripping into John Cena. The fans were loving it. It was fucking hilarious. No, by the way, the crowd were amazing. They were awesome. It makes a Raw and a SmackDown or a pay-per-view so much better if there is a crowd that is alive. If there is a crowd that knows what's going on, that's going to chant, that's going to cheer, that's going to boo. It just makes it 10 times better. It reminded me of the Philly crowd. Not quite as controversial, but it was up there. They fucking hated John Cena. Did the New Jersey crowd. Essentially, it ended up with John Cena calling Stephanie McMahon a bitch. Oh my god. John Cena just swore. John Cena just swore in front of his C Nation. What is he doing? Anyway, he swore. Fucking funny. I rewinded it about 4 times. Just because it was Cena. I mean, if it had been anyone else, it would have been funny. Because it was calling it to Stephanie McMahon. But it would have been that funny. I'd like watched it twice and that'd been fine. But I literally watched it 4 or 5 times because it was John Cena. But anyway, essentially when Stephanie said, "You're not entering the Andre the Giant Battle Royale." It's more. I know it's not pronounced like that. I'm just doing it deliberately before anybody says I can't speak. Memorial. There we go. See. And Stephanie McMahon said that he's disrespecting Andre the Giant's legacy, which he wasn't. But then Curtis Axel came out. Holy shit, this is funny. Curtis Axel, he came out and he was pretending to be Hulk Hogan, and it was so funny. It was absolutely hilarious. He was doing the whole ears, he was doing the whole ripping of the shirt, he was doing all the sayings. It was fucking brilliant. And Axelmania is running wild, and the crowd were chanting it. It was brilliant. And then he goes in a match with John Cena, who fucking squashes him like a knife squashing a orange. Not a very good idea, but not a very good example, should I say. But I mean, what the fuck? The crowd was so hot on Curtis Axel. They could have had an extraordinary matchup here. Back and throw. It could have lasted 20 minutes and Curtis Axel could have got the biggest victory of his life, and he would have automatically been propelled to a new level in the WWE. They could have booked him so well there that they could have had, dare I say it, a new star on their hands. Instead, and I'm not saying he's a new star, but you know what I mean. They'd had someone there, they'd had someone else, and he'd have meant something for the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. He'd have probably gone in as one of the favourites, and that could start a push for Cesaro. For Curtis Axel. Instead, they have him lose to John Cena in about 15 seconds. I don't get the logic of the WWE sometimes. I liked how Cena was so aggressive, but I didn't really. The match was pathetic. He won with the STF. After hitting the attitude adjustment, or the FU, the fuck you. Anyway, Russo and Lana, talking about fucking. Russo and Lana came out. They weren't fucking at the moment. Probably did that behind closed doors. I literally, when I found that out, like a few months ago, that they were together, like, I was like, what? But each your own. And obviously, Lana does that accent so well, because obviously I don't believe she's Russian. But anyway, moving on. Rusev and Lana came out to mock John Cena. Oh my god, it's twist my little finger. And again, refused to have a match with Cena at WrestleMania. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Cena. We all know it'll be Rusev Cena at WrestleMania. I just don't know how they're going to do it now, without making Rusev look like a complete and utter twat. But anyway, I'm sure WWE will find some fucking pathetic way to do it. But yeah, the whole segment was good, apart from the whole Curtis Axel losing. We then had Triple H demonstrates control. That's what it said on Bleacher Report. This was a big segment. It was a good segment. It was Triple H, who I like on the mic, who's very, very good, talking about Sting, talking about their big match at WrestleMania. The match you never thought you'd see. Triple H versus the Icon, the Vigilante, the man who runs WCW, even though it doesn't exist anymore. I suppose it does exist, but only in the history books and on the WWE Network, which you can buy for $9.99. That's dollars, pounds, whatever the hell currency it is. For just $9.99, you can buy it and you can watch it all day. You can watch the Vigilante Sting all day. You're welcome, Vince McMahon. Anyway, he essentially invited... I'm being retarded, aren't I? He essentially invited Booker T. Can you dig it, sucker? I wish they'd have played his music. It just like hit me. But anyway, Booker T came to the ring and they kind of said what Triple H didn't really want to hear about, the fact that he thought that Triple H had forced him to stop Sting from coming in, has stopped Sting from coming in over the past 15 years, even though Sting may well have wanted to come in, if you get what I mean by that. And then Triple H went on to say about how control what control can do, and etc, etc. He then essentially said it was really funny, and I knew it was going to happen, but I suppose some people probably didn't. He then went, "Thanks, Book," and then he went, "And by the way, you're fired." And it was so funny because he was then walking off, picked his things up from the announce table, and Triple H said, "I'm not actually firing you, I'm just demonstrating control." It was fantastic. It was a troll. It was fantastic. It was funny. I enjoyed it. And you know, he went back to the what do we call it? The announce team, and Raw continued. A decent segment. It built up their match at WrestleMania. Not Booker T, Jesus Christ, Triple H and Sting at WrestleMania. So I enjoyed the segment. We now have Paige versus Nikki Bella for the WWE Divas Championship. This was good in many ways, apart from the ending of the match, which kind of pissed me off. Paige was so close to winning. It was actually a good match. We were the fans were involved in it. They were into it. They wanted Paige to win. Not Nikki Bella. She was the one in the match. Brie Bella. She went to Paige got her submission in what is called the PTO. That was it. Got that in, locked it in, and Nikki Bella. Not Nikki Bella. Why do I keep saying that? Brie Bella came in and saved Nikki Bella, and obviously caused a DQ, which meaning Nikki Bella regains the title. As you can't change, the title don't change via disqualification. You should all know that. And then they continued their attack on Paige. Or Paige, I can't really remember what happened. But essentially what happened was AJ Lee came out. She fucking returned. Like a week after she made whatever comment she did to Stephanie McMahon, she's returned. And then they beat up Paige. They beat up the Bella Twins. I'm really fucking up my words with this. Essentially, which I think will happen is a match at WrestleMania 30 between the two as a tag team match. Could go Fatal 4-Way, don't think they will. Which is a shame that there won't be a Divas Championship match at WrestleMania, but this match will be fantastic. It's got Bella Twins, who are very, very vast in the ring. Nikki Bella, who's absolutely fantastic in the ring, in my opinion. Paige is one of the best workers, if not the best, in the WWE. And AJ Lee, who can hang with the best, to say the least. They then done a little thing backstage after, and AJ Lee, she quoted without quoting the whole "Give Divas a Chance" hashtag movement, which was absolutely hilarious. Another thing that I love. What was just that? It was a bundle of laughs tonight. But anyway, that was that. We then had the Daily Show with Seth Rollins and obviously Stewart when he came out. Oh my god, this was funny. This was good. This was a good way of doing it. It made Seth Rollins look a great heel. It was funny how Jon Stewart came out taking the piss out of Jamie Noble, Joey Mercury. Fucking hell, can this guy talk on the mic? I know he's a Daily Show host, etc., and it doesn't surprise me, but he can do a good WWE promo and really captivate you, and I really enjoyed it. Then Seth Rollins kind of lost the plot. He got a bit angry with him and kind of grabbed him around the throat. Randy Orton's music came on, still part of the Authority, as distracted Seth Rollins, and Stewart ran away, and literally did fucking run away. I don't think it was the best thing to do, have Randy Orton join back with the Authority, and go with that way. I still think they'll have a match at WrestleMania, but I just don't think this was necessarily the best way for the WWE to go. But hell, who the hell am I to moan? A good segment, I enjoyed it. Moving on. Luke Harper versus Daniel Bryan. Is this just the fourth match of Raw This is poor in regards to that. A short match, didn't really... what the hell am I talking about? Didn't really do a lot in regards to doing anything else other than building up this ladder match and building up Daniel Bryan, really. Yeah, I mean, Luke Harper... If you build up for a ladder match, at least let this match go strong. I knew Daniel Bryan would win. I knew he'd win because I'd never make him lose. But at least have it go long enough to make Luke Harper look good. And Luke Harper's so good in the ring. These two could have put on a great match, and instead they really didn't. And Daniel Bryan, he really did get thrown around the ring. Essentially, this match ended with Daniel Bryan winning, and essentially, I don't know whether they ended the match quick because of the way Harper threw him around the ring and whether Daniel Bryan was feeling injured. I don't think that was it, but it may well have been why it was quick. I don't think it was. But essentially, it ended off with Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, it's so difficult to remember what happened because so much shit happened. Luke Harper technically had the title at the start of the match. R-Truth then came and nicked it. Luke Harper then done something to R-Truth. No, he didn't. R-Truth nicked the title. Sorry, this is confusing. Bad News Barrett got the title back. Dean Ambrose attacked Bad News Barrett, got the title. Dean Ambrose then got kicked by Luke Harper. Luke Harper got the title. Then Dolph Ziggler got the title from Luke Harper. Then he climbed the ladder. Danny Bryan was going, yes, yes, yes. And I was going, no, no, no. Dolph Ziggler was on the top of the ladder. Them two are throwing a few trash talks. Not with the mic, but just doing it. We're setting up a 6-man ladder match. Excuse me. That includes the champion. Well, technically the champion. Bad News Barrett. R-Truth. Luke Harper. Dean Ambrose. Daniel Bryan, I believe, and Dolph Ziggler. That is fucking amazing. And this is just proving how strong. And I'm not saying that Daniel Bryan is in the mid-card of the WWE, or Dean Ambrose for that matter, and Dolph Ziggler, and any of these should really be in the mid-card. But what a match we're going to witness, and the prestige of this title will be built up if they stop fucking playing pass the parcel with it. Anyway, moving on. So ultimately, I believe Dolph Ziggler ended the night with a championship. Next up, we had one of my favourite promos ever. And that's not me joking, that is me being deadly serious. And I've watched it, and I will watch it again and again and again. This was by far my favourite ever promo in the WWE. I enjoyed it more than the CM Punk pipe bomb a few years ago. A lot of you go, what the fuck? But I genuinely did. Holy shit. There's too much to talk about. But Paul Heyman is by far the best person on the mic in the WWE, and he's not even a superstar. He can get you into anything in the world. If it's just a mini match, if it's just a pre-show match, Adam Rose versus Fandango, you give Paul Heyman the mic for 5 minutes and he will make you so into that match that you just cannot take your eyes off it. This man is an absolute genius. And when Brock Lesnar leaves the WWE, if he does that, and if he does take the title to UFC, which I can't see happening, or whatever the hell happens, Paul Heyman has to join somebody else. It is that simple. You cannot let this guy go. You cannot let this guy not on WWE television, because he is by far the most captivating person in this business currently. I probably overacted there a little bit, but this promo was extraordinary. It was said from the heart. A lot of it was honest to begin with. The whole New Jersey thing, the whole Andre the Giant, not the whole Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, the whole going for all the legends, and then the whole Andre the Giant Battle Memorial bit where he went. I didn't reference Andre the Giant because he's dead. The way he said that just got the crowd going. It was amazing. You give this man a mic, and he didn't even have a working mic, but you just give this man 5 minutes on Raw, and for me, this was the perfect time, because I kind of forgot about the previous shit and the fact we hadn't had many matches on Raw. I'll remember Raw for this. The Paul Heyman promo. The Paul Heyman pipe bomb. If you haven't seen this, go watch it. Absolutely amazing. I am a Paul Heyman guy. And Brock Lesnar, please don't walk out of the WWE. Because, no, please. I pray to God. I pray to God. We then had Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Rollins winning via pinfall. Good match. Hang on a sec. Not the greatest thing they'd ever done before. Sorry, I had a brief moment of thinking about what I was going to say. But a decent one. The ending was okay. I'm trying to think what the ending was. Oh, yeah, the ending was controversial, of course, because Rollins won. He can never win cleanly. Essentially, what happened, Roman Reigns was going for his spear after hitting Seth Rollins with a Superman punch. The pinch. And Randy Orton, who had come out ringside, grabbed Roman Reigns' leg and essentially cost him the victory. So they're not splitting up Randy Orton and Seth Rollins just yet, although at the end of the show Randy Orton just kind of like walked off. He kind of like smiled at the camera, and it's not all, happy days in the front of Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. I don't think they'll break him up next week on Raw. I think they'll do it the following week on Raw, the one prior, the penultimate Raw to WrestleMania. So not the last Raw, was the penultimate. But overall on the show, I thought it was very, very good. Some memorable moments, which is rare sometimes on Raw. You can sometimes watch a Raw and not really remember much. No real great matches though, and that was a big disappointment for me. But for how much they built up storylines, give credit where credit's due. I'll watch a bit of main event in NXT. And possibly a bit of SmackDown, which is so shit at the moment, to watch some action this week. But yeah, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was good. Tell me your thoughts and your opinions down in the comments below on WWE Monday Night Raw for the 2nd of February in New Jersey, and credit to the New Jersey crowd. What a show, and I love the Paul Heyman promo. Believe that, Roman. I love Roman Reigns. I love Paul Heyman. I love Brock Lesnar. I love Dolph Ziggler at the moment. I love fucking Bray Wyatt. Holy shit, WrestleMania's going to be amazing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. I didn't end it with like a believe that this time. That was rare.